Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday afternoon, July 20th, and I wanted to speak about Lytton, Canada. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lytton, just for a few minutes, maybe more. This is a city that hit 121 degrees back in June. Just unbelievable heat, 121 degrees. That is hotter than it's ever been in any area in South America, any place in Europe. 121 degrees. It's hotter than just about every single state here in the United States. There's only been 4 states that have been that hot here in the United States: Arizona, Nevada, Utah, in California, I believe, but Las Vegas has never been that hot at 121 degrees. But that's not really what I wanted to speak about, because that was a freak occurrence. The thing about Lytton, Canada, and this is something that some of the weather apps, if you look at some of these weather apps that are connected to AccuWeather, you will see that the forecast highs are in the 80s, but yet you'll see the current temperatures are in the hundreds. Mid-90s to mid-hundreds. Usually they peak into the hundreds every single day. It's absolutely amazing. And you'll see most cities, as the temperature goes up, they change the forecast high. But on these AccuWeather, these apps that are connected to AccuWeather, they don't change the forecast high. Not only that, but if you go into the records and check what the actual high was only in the 80s. But yet you could witness the current temperatures every single day surpassing 100 degrees. Today, already as of this morning, it was 97 degrees in Lytton, Canada. Forecast high today, 87 degrees. And if you look at the records, you'll see the actual high temperature today is probably going to end up being closer to 87 degrees. Yet, if you pay attention to the hourly temperatures at Lytton, Canada, you will see temperatures from 97 this morning. They're likely already in the hundreds. And it's been like that for a while. So I want to point out there's at least 2 other cities which are going through a similar thing, possibly a third city in Australia. So the 2 other cities are Rio Grande Village, Texas, and to some extent Death Valley, California. So Rio Grande Village, Texas, the deal with that city, on some websites you will see the actual temperatures are about 15 degrees hotter than what the forecast highs are. You'll see that whatever, and on the weather map, if you see temperatures are in the 90s in West Texas, so approximately, let's say it's 95 degrees, you could be almost guaranteed that at Rio Grande Village it's going to be 110 degrees. And you're left with the question of how come you don't see any hundreds in the weather map. You don't see 100 and teens. You don't even see any hundreds in Texas. Many times you have to go to Arizona before you start seeing hundreds. Yet there is a city, a town, a village in Texas that is surpassing 100, even up to around 110 degrees. So I think that the websites need to work on this. But the official reporting station, I don't really know how to explain it, but the official reporting station this place, the population, I think the deal is that the population is so small. This happens in towns where the population is very small. That's the common denominator for all these places. The population in Rio Grande Village is very little. Population in Death Valley, at the Green Ranch, I think that's what it's called. That's where the real heat occurs. Death Valley temperatures, a lot of times you'll look at the forecast, they're 10 degrees cooler than what's actually happening. So the temperatures, when we say Rio Grande Village, there's some weather station which is located in the hottest part of the village where there's barely any people there. Those forecasts are not being made for that location. The forecasts are being made for the other parts of the Rio Grande Village, which is significantly cooler. The same goes for Death Valley. The high temperature, the hottest temperature in the United States on a particular day, let's say it was 125 degrees in Death Valley, California. But a lot of times on some of the websites, the forecast highs in Death Valley are closer to what they are in Phoenix, because that's for the other parts of Death Valley. That's where there's more action going on. That's where there's more life. And you really have to be very detailed and specific if you really want to see what the highest temperature is in that specific location, which records the highest temperatures. So Rio Grande Village is like that. Death Valley is like that. West Nile's River, what's the place? West Lion, I forgot the name of the place. West Lion River, someplace in Australia, where there's a little location that's extremely hot. But so if you look on the websites, they don't really tell you about that location. They acknowledge that location when you look at it as a current temperature. But in terms of the forecasts and what the actual highs were, that location it's hidden. For some reason, they don't look at it. So I think it's West Lions River, Australia, I think. That's the name of the city. So we have Rio Grande Village. The city, Lytton, Canada, only has 250 people living in it. That was the population before this wildfire came in and destroyed 90% of the town. Hopefully the population is still 250. I know there was an evacuation. Much of the town was evacuated. But I want to just say, why is it getting so hot in Lytton, Canada? Why does it get so hot? So the first thing you have to realize is that the days are very long. The days are about 16 hours long. The sun is very strong there. It's not as strong as it is in Death Valley. It's further north, but we're not dealing with a North Pole sun either. We are dealing with a powerful sun, and we're dealing with very long days. And the place is in a valley. The sun, however, there's also a reflection off the mountains. There's heat coming in off the mountains. It's dropping into the valley. Heat's getting trapped in the valley. There's also sunlight reflection off the mountains. That's what I read. And I assume that means off the snow. So it's very sunny there. It's very sunny there. And the winters, by the way, are short and mild. It's like it's a nice place to live, really. I think it's a pretty nice place to be if you like heat. And it's in Canada. It's quite amazing that we have this town in Canada. It's pretty cool that it became a popular city this year because of that 121 degrees. And people are now aware of this new city in Canada, which is almost like Rio Grande Village in Texas. The coldest temperature ever recorded in that city is 25 below zero. They do get occasionally major Arctic outbreaks. But think about this. The coldest temperature in Chicago has been 27 below zero. So it's been colder here, and that place is 50-some degrees north latitude. That's really, really far north. That's the hottest temperature from 45 degrees north latitude northward. The hottest temperature ever recorded occurred in that city. It's 50-some degrees north latitude. Chicago, I think, is 40 or 42 degrees. St. Louis maybe is 38 or so. But that city is really, really far north. That's what I have to say for right now. Rio Grande Village is another city which is basically almost just as hot as Death Valley, California. It's very hot in that city, and it goes unnoticed by many because it's camouflage. There's also a place called Rio Grande City, and that's different than Rio Grande Village. And again, because the population is so low, that's what I'm attributing it to. The temperatures go unnoticed, but it's also hard to find an accurate temperature for Lytton, Canada. The forecasts for the next week, highs in the 80s, but the current temperature at some location there is in the hundreds every single day. Unless a whole bunch of weather apps are not accurate, there's an area which is receiving temperatures in the hundreds every day, and I believe it's a similar situation. That city is similar to Rio Grande Village. That's what I believe is going on. Anyways, I wish everybody a great day and enjoy the heat if you are in that area in Canada. It's very unique, a very unique place to be receiving such intense heat. It's well hidden, that's for sure, well hidden. Have a great day, everyone.